Go ahead.
Hi, Liz from Liz Music and Things, coming at you here with another video. Now, today I have a little friend with me, a Minnie Mouse here, as you can see. My dad got me her this recently, and she wanted to come along for this video. Hi, guys. Okay, so I just, she's sitting there, and she's gonna watch with us. Now, today I am doing a review of the novel by Helena called If You Want Me. So here it is here. So If You Want Me, it is a novel from part of the Toronto Terror series by Helena Hunting. So far there was the first novel, which is called If You Hate Me. So If You Hate Me centered around Beatrix, otherwise known as Rix, and Tristan. And now this novel, If You Want Me, it is mainly about Peggy, who's actually one of the hockey players in the Toronto Terror hockey team, their daughter, now her dad, Roman Hammerstein, he had her with his ex when he was very young. And so now, of course, as I said, this book is about Peggy, otherwise known as Aurora, or otherwise known as Hammer, and Hollis Hendricks. And Hollis Hendricks is part of the Toronto Terror hockey team, and he also just so happens to be Peggy, otherwise known as Aurora, otherwise known as Hammer's dad's best friend. So now when it comes to this book here, the character Peggy, she'd had a crush on Hollis since she was like 12 or 13, and now she's 20 turning 21, and she also did an internship with another character in this series. Hemi is her nickname. Her full name is Wilhelmina, and she is the one who does PR and everything for the Toronto Terror team. So needless to say, when Peggy takes on this role and as part of the internship, when Peggy takes on this role on the internship with Hemi, Hollis ends up seeing her in a different light. So he starts seeing her as more of a woman than the kid that grew up with all the other hockey players. And, so also too, when Hollis and the rest of the team goes away, on trips and that, with the, on away games, Peggy takes care of his two cats. So, of course, in regards to Hollis, he is a bachelor and a so-called furry dad of two cats named Posey and Malone. So, I'm guessing he is maybe a fan of his music, I'm guessing. But yeah, needless to say, they're two tabbies, and Peggy takes care of them when Hollis is unable to care for his cats. And yeah, so what ends up happening is, at one point, it ends up that Aurora, otherwise known as Peggy, otherwise known as Hammer, while she was looking after the cats, she accidentally left her toy at Hollis's apartment. And then, of course, he gets home sooner than she expects. She was about to take it away and hopefully get it gone without him noticing. But such is not to be. So it ended up that he got there just as, he was already there when she went to come back. The team came back early. So, of course, he ends up finding it. But he didn't find it until one of his cats knocked it over. And, of course, then, Hammer, and otherwise known as Peggy or Aurora, and Hollis and Roman, they often go for lunch or dinner and whatnot together at a local diner. And so it ends up that Hollis actually brings the toy to the diner, wrapped up around a towel in a gift bag to give Peggy, so that he'd give her back the toy. And just kind of ended up that Roman said, oh, you should totally bring that gift there to give Aurora or Peggy. And, you should totally bring it with you to the diner. And then, of course, he does bring it, but it doesn't end up quite going so well. And it embarrasses Peggy, of course. And for the longest time, she tries to avoid him, or she doesn't know what to make of what the relationship is going to be. And as well with Hollis, he's trying to sort of be the bigger person, even though he has had an attraction for Peggy, for a while, and he didn't want to necessarily admit it to himself. And then with Peggy, she's of course had this crush since she was young, and eventually Peggy's the one who puts the moves on Hollis. And so of course Hollis tries to smack it down, saying, nope, this isn't happening. You're so young, you shouldn't necessarily be having a thing for me. You shouldn't want me. I shouldn't want you. And, it ends up that, for a while too, they end up, eventually when they do get into their relationship, they end up, trying to hide it from her dad because they're afraid of what might happen, because of the fact that her dad gave her this one rule: no dating a hockey player. Now, of course, when he does end up finding out, it ends up that at first he's really mad, but then her dad just says to her, as long as you're happy, and, when he says to Hollis, yeah, just make sure you treat her right. And, so it ended up that it went from this, I don't know if I should have you, to, yeah, let's be in a relationship, but we can't show it, to, yeah, we're right out in the open, and I love you, and I care about you, and we're for each other. So now I definitely would highly suggest this book if you do enjoy hockey romance, and you enjoy hockey or sports, and you enjoy romance stories, and all of that mixed together. And oh, look, Minnie's trying to come back and say hi. Now, as well, if you haven't yet checked out Helena Hunting's Beaver Den on Facebook, definitely try to join that group, especially if you're a fan of her books. And just to keep in mind too, coming out very, very soon is going to be the newest book in the series. All right, so as I was saying before about the new book that's coming out very soon, which is called If You... Okay, so the new book coming out is called If You Need Me. And so this book is gonna be centered around Dallas and Hemi. So Hemi, otherwise known as Wilhelmina, she is the team's PR person, and Dallas has had a thing for her for a long time, but she doesn't know it, but she also tends to give him a hard time a lot of the times. So I actually got this stuff in the mail. That's another picture from the book cover. And then here's a Toronto Terrors sticker. That is the logo for that hockey team in the book. And, of course, I'm also part of the Badass Babe Brigade, the Helena Hunting influencer team. And so definitely, I am very excited about this. So this book, If You Need Me, it comes out on November 14th. And I'm very excited for it. Number 3 in the Toronto Terror series. Now, I don't know if there's going to end up being any more books in this series other than these 3. From what it looks like right now, it is just the 3 of them. But time will tell if they end up adding more books to the series. And again, as I mentioned before, Helena Hunting has a fan group on Facebook called the Beaver Den. And on that group, she also posts about new signings or meet and greets, and also updates, and she does live chats and that. So if you are a fan of Helena Hunting, definitely check it out. Now, I would definitely give this novel, and also the first novel in the series, both of them together, I'd say maybe an 8 or 9 out of 10. And this book alone, I think is an awesome book, and I would probably give it in itself like an 8 out of 10 as well. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, and take care.